Hello, I'm Alexander Floy with Football Talk. I'm accompanied by
Alex Newman.
and
Devin Dvorak.
so our first question of the day is the draft. We're recapping the draft. So now, what players do you think will succeed in the tough NFL competition?
Well, it's a very interesting question. So I'm going to be focusing specifically on the quarterbacks because there are just so many good, young, and promising quarterbacks in this draft class. I think the ones that will succeed, Josh Rosen, if he can stay healthy. If he can't stay healthy, that's a whole other issue. I think Lamar Jackson will succeed. I think Baker Mayfield has a chance of succeeding. He also has a chance of busting. It really depends if he can stay out of trouble. And I think Sam Darnold will succeed. For busts, I think Josh Allen will completely bust. He's just so inaccurate. People only like him because he has a strong arm. But, if he can't throw, 50% in college, what makes you think he's going to throw over 50% in the NFL, the hardest league in the world?
Okay, I agree with some of those. Josh Allen, I don't think he's going to be a flop because even the Senior Bowl, he was 9 for 13 with 158 yards and 2 touchdowns, which that's not horrible, and that completion percentage is pretty good for him. So the completion percentage and the accuracy shouldn't be a challenge, especially with an NFL caliber quarterback coach that can teach him and kind of guide him through the league. Also, a surprise pick in the 4th round from the Giants, Kyle Luda from Richmond, had a fantastic Senior Bowl with going 8 for 12 with 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. And I think that his accuracy was always pretty good in college. I mean, he's coming from a lower D1 school with Richmond, but I still think he can succeed after Eli, especially with Eli mentoring him as a vet in the league.
Well, I do respect your opinion on Josh Allen. One game isn't enough for me. I'm sure he's had a few good games, but he has so many red flags. And when you go to a team like Buffalo, who's been known not to develop quarterbacks well, look at Nathan Peterman, who's also a very raw prospect. I mean, look what happened to him. 5 interceptions in one half. 2 of them weren't his fault, to be fair, but then 3 interceptions in one half is pretty bad. And then who else? You had E.J. Manuel in 2013. They did not develop him right at all. So I think the problem is that Buffalo is taking all these raw prospects instead of taking someone that is pretty sure NFL ready. And that's the problem with Buffalo. They don't know how to develop raw prospects like Josh Allen. And for that reason, I think Josh Allen will flop.
Now, you've given us plenty of reasons why Josh Allen will flop, but why players like Josh Allen will flop? But you've only said small tidbits about why players will succeed. So why don't you give us some details about, say, Lamar Jackson?
Well, Lamar Jackson, the thing with him is people look at his completion accuracy and they're like, hey, it's very similar to Josh Allen's. But if you look at their play style, if you watch the games, Lamar Jackson threw great passes that his receivers dropped. It literally went right out of their hands. It went right out of their hands. When you look at Josh Allen, he's just chucking it up 70 yards in the air for a prayer for one of his wide receivers to catch it. He's not even used to the short pass. And Buffalo has a lot of short pass wide receivers. When you look at Josh Rosen, I said he could fail because he's injury prone, but he also was he wasn't very accurate, but he was pretty accurate, and he is a good quarterback.
Not to cut you off, we should probably get to the next topic.
Yeah.
So record predictions. Now, who do you two think will flop? Do you think there'll be any big shocks? What are your opinions on these?
So I think, in my opinion, the 49ers won't flop, but they're very overrated. They got Jimmy Garoppolo. Now their delusional fan base is acting like they're going to win the division. It's just you still have the Rams in that division. You're not going to win. They're going to win at most 9 games. They're going to win somewhere around 7 to 9 games. They definitely will not make the playoffs in the tough NFC.
Even the Cardinals are going to do better than them.
I wouldn't go that far.
No,
but
they will. That's not even a question.
I'm a Cardinals fan myself, but who do they have? Their offensive line, garbage. Besides Patrick Peterson, their secondary's not that great. I just don't see... David Johnson, a running back's not going to...
Absolute maniac.
A running back's not going to carry them to 9 wins.
Adrian Peterson.
Chris Ivory carried the Jets to 8 wins a few years ago.
That is a little... You know what? You have a point there. Actually,
Fitzgerald.
I can't. I have nothing to say for that. You're right.
Um,
So it is.
my big prediction is that Cleveland is gonna go 7-9 with their additions. They picked up so many players, and I think Baker Mayfield will fit their scheme pretty well. I think they kind of learned from their mistakes with Johnny Manziel, kind of similar play styles, like strong arm, mobile quarterbacks, coming out. And as soon as right out of the draft, they kind of did a bonehead move and got arrested. But I think that I feel like that Baker Mayfield will develop better than what Johnny Manziel did and be more composed.
And a part of me feels like Baker Mayfield won't start this year, but even if he doesn't, the Browns can still easily win 7 or, you know what, even more games because Tyrod Taylor, he's proven that he's a playoff quarterback. He can lead a team to victory. He's a good quarterback. I'm sick of this Tyrod Taylor disrespect. He had one bad game the entire season, and he got benched for a raw prospect and Nathan Peterman for it. That, to me, is just shows how incompetent Buffalo's coaching staff is. Hopefully in Cleveland, he has better opportunity to show who he really is.
So, either of you... Okay. So, that's all the time we have. Thank you for watching Football Talk. I'm Alexander Foy with...
Alex Steven?
And...
Devin Dvorak.